Welcome back to The Common Good. I'm Eric Curry. There are perhaps no three words more recognizable in American civic life than these: we the people. They appear at the very beginning of our Constitution, and yet, after more than 2 centuries, they still ask every generation the same question: who is responsible for America? Many of us instinctively look towards Washington. We look to the president, Congress, the Supreme Court, governors, mayors, political parties. But the Constitution begins somewhere else, not with elected officials, not with institutions, not even with the founding fathers. It begins with the people. Those three words are more than an introduction, they are a declaration of ownership. They remind us that the republic belongs not to those who temporarily hold office, but to the citizens who sustain it. Today, I want to explore why we the people still means us. When the Constitution was written in 1787, monarchies dominated much of the world. Political authority was commonly understood to flow downward from kings, queens, emperors, and other rulers. The Constitution reversed that idea. It declared that legitimate government derives its authority from the consent of the governed. Power begins with the people. Government exists because citizens choose to establish it. And that was a revolutionary idea then. It remains a revolutionary responsibility today. Because if authority begins with the people, then responsibility begins there too. One of the greatest dangers facing our democracy, or facing any democracy or constitutional republic, is the belief that citizenship is passive. It is not. Citizenship is participation. Voting matters, but voting is only one expression of citizenship. Citizens serve on school boards, coach youth sports, volunteer at food banks. They start businesses that create jobs. Every one of these acts strengthens the fabric of the nation. The common good is built one act of responsibility at a time. Americans rightly cherish their constitutional rights: freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, the right to assemble, due process, equal protection. These rights deserve vigorous protection, but rights have always existed alongside responsibilities. Freedom of speech requires responsible speech. Voting requires informed participation. Jury service requires fairness. Religious liberty requires respect for the liberties of others. Owning rights without accepting responsibility weakens the very freedoms we seek to protect. The Constitution assumes citizens possess not only liberty, but virtue. And without virtue, liberty becomes difficult to sustain. Now, before we continue, I'd like to tell you about an initiative that reflects the very principles we're discussing today: the Liberty and Justice Scholarship. It exists because investing in young people is one of the greatest responsibilities any generation can embrace. The scholarship recognizes students who demonstrate leadership, academic achievement, integrity, and a commitment to serving others. Applications for the inaugural scholarship will open in January 2027, and the first recipient will be announced in July of 2027. To learn more or support the scholarship, visit ericcurryofficial.com, because Every investment in a young person is an investment in America's future. Now, disagreement does not end citizenship. One of the defining features of American life is disagreement. We disagree about taxes, healthcare, education, foreign policy, immigration, and countless other issues. That disagreement is not evidence that democracy is failing. In many ways, it is evidence that democracy is working. Free people think differently. The challenge is learning how to disagree without abandoning one another. The phrase "we the people" includes citizens who voted differently than we did. It includes people whose religious beliefs differ from ours, whose life experiences differ from ours, whose political philosophies differ from ours. Citizenship requires us to defend not only our own right to speak, but the rights of others to participate peacefully in the democratic process. Sometimes we speak as though America belongs to one generation or one race, one religion, one political movement. It does not. America has always been a shared project. Every generation inherits unfinished work. Every generation confronts challenges unique to its own time. Some generations preserved the Union. Some expanded civil rights. Some defended liberties overseas. Some built schools, hospitals, highways, and scientific breakthroughs. Now it's our turn. Our assignment may look different from theirs, but it is no less important. History will not ask whether our circumstances were easy. It will ask whether we accepted responsibility for them. The future begins with ordinary people. When people imagine changing America, they often picture national leaders, presidents, governors, members of Congress. Those roles matter. But history reminds us that many of America's greatest movements began with ordinary citizens, teachers, parents, students, neighbors, volunteers. Ordinary people often become extraordinary precisely because they refuse to believe they are powerless. The Constitution begins with "we the people" because the founders understood something profound. The future belongs to citizens willing to participate. We the people. Three very simple words, yet they contain an extraordinary promise. They remind us that government derives its legitimacy from the people, that freedom requires responsibility, that citizenship is active, that disagreement need not become division, and that the future of the Republic depends not solely upon those elected to office, but upon millions of ordinary Americans choosing each day to contribute to something greater than themselves. The Constitution still begins with those words. The question is whether we still believe them. Because "we the people" is not merely a phrase written in 1787. It is an invitation extended to every generation, including ours. Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Common Good. If today's conversation resonated with you, subscribe, share this episode, and continue this discussion with someone in your family, workplace, or community. Until next time, I'm Eric Curry. Let's continue the work of leaving America better than we found it.